Vlogmas day 5! This day has started very interestingly. I wanted to start filming at home, but my SD card was corrupted, so I had to now, instead of going to the shops that I actually wanted to go to today, which was to go to Mary Pack and Super Floral Distributors to go and show you guys around a little bit, I had to come to Orms and try and troubleshoot some problems that I've been having. So it was first SD card, then it was lighting, because my lighting situation at home is a little bit less than ideal and it's been bothering me, so I had to come and sort that out. I also wanted to get a new microphone, so this microphone should be better quality than the one that I've been using previously for my vlogs. It had a lot of static in the audio, so it wasn't all that ideal. But I'm sitting here outside Orms in Belleville, and a wonderful man called Fritz has just helped me solve pretty much all of my problems that I've been having. So I have a new microphone, a new SD card, and a new boom arm for my lighting. This has been a very frustrating but very fruitful trip. So all of my vlogging and YouTubing problems have kind of been solved. So a huge thank you to Fritz at Orms Belleville for your help. You have been an absolute godsend. But now I'm actually on my way to Snippy Sisters. So her and I are going to be having a lekker little chat and answering some questions that you guys normally have. I'm going to be taking you to her studio. We're going to be doing a little bit of walkthrough of her studio, taking a look at the things that she has on sale, which is going to be great. And then asking her some questions and figuring out, you know, what kind of problems you may have, and hopefully answering some of your most frequently asked questions. Okay, now for the tour portion of the video. So I have Robyn with me here, and I'm going to be the videographer, and she's going to be talking you through the studio and what she does for orders and things like that.
Right, welcome to my home and studio, lounge portion, studio portion. We're based in Milnerton in Cape Town, and we courier countrywide and to our neighboring countries too. Right, so we have an online website and orders come through to my inbox, right? I print out your order. These are Monday's to-do lists over here. And you literally choose the size of vinyl and how much of it. So you can choose a 12 by 12, or you can choose a meter, 10 meters, depending on what you're doing. Once the orders are printed, I take it over to the table and I tick things off as I go. We have a whole lot of self-adhesive vinyl in various different categories. The standard stuff, and then the crafty, funky, pretty stuff, right? Various brands. We have glitter HTV up over there, and then standard HTV up on the wall in those holders. Those holders are also for sale, #sale. And then some goodies that we made that my darling partner Lee has made over time, all with the silhouette cameo. And then, yeah, so I print your order out, I pack the goodies that you have asked for, blades, mats, vinyl, etc. And then I have courier bags in here. I do your weighable, I put it inside a courier bag, put it on the table, and then line them all up for the various couriers to come and fetch throughout the day. Good relationship with our courier team, Fastway and Courier Guy. Love your work, very easy to work with and very reliable. Then I've got a few printable options, clear sticker paper, white sticker paper, matte, glossy, and then printable t-shirt layering items too, as well as cutting mats of various sizes. And we also sell the sample sheets that you can see. You can actually own one of these and then give them to clients to show them different colors that we have available. These are the sample packs for that gorgeous, pretty self-adhesive vinyl there. So instead of buying a whole piece, you can buy a sample pack 10 centimeters in size and try a little bit of everything. These are one of our best sellers. So have a look at the site of what we've got there. And then if you're looking for something that we don't have, let us know and we'll see if we can get our hands on it for you. And thank you for visiting Snippy Sisters.
So, hi Robyn.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. So essentially what I wanted to do with this video is just to kind of introduce you guys to Robyn. Not maybe, some of you might have seen the videos that we've done in the past. I will give a link in the top a little bit later in the video, but I wanted to kind of bring Robyn along to answer some of the questions that most of you ask. Because obviously Robyn is a supplier of, as you can see, many kind of, there's more vinyls over there, which I will show you when we're done. But
a fair amount of vinyl.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I wanted to bring her along because obviously she's very, very knowledgeable in terms of a lot of things that she sells. And we wanted to go through some questions that you guys typically ask so that we can hear from another expert. So I think that one of the biggest questions that you get asked is, what vinyl should I use? Like, let's say it's my grandmother's birthday, and I want to put some decor up somewhere, and I don't want to necessarily use paper or whatever. You know, I want to use vinyl. What kind of vinyl should I use?
All right. So it all depends how long you want the vinyl to last. Just for Granny's birthday, you don't need the good stuff. You don't have to pay for the expensive stuff. You can use what's called promotional vinyl, 1 year. Okay, so after Granny's birthday, it can stay up on the mirror for another year. Promo is inexpensive, but the drawback to promo is it doesn't come in the variety of colors that outdoor vinyl comes in, where you've got starting off for maybe 20 colors versus 50 colors. All right, so first prize, use the cheap stuff because you can. However, if you want the lovely mint greens and the soft pinks and the really shiny golds, for example, then you have to buy outdoor vinyl, even though it's going to go up for a day. If it's going on your car, however, that I suggest you use the good quality stuff outdoor, 5 to 7 years. Otherwise, you're going to have to change it every few months when it starts peeling off. So again, we've got promo, 1 year, indoor, 1 to 3, and outdoor, 5 to 7. So just check the quality that you're buying before you apply it.
And how do I know, like if I'm going on your website as an example, if I know that I need 1 year vinyl and I know that I'm looking for promo vinyl, how do I find it on your website? Is it clearly labeled?
Really easy. Go to self-adhesive and all the different categories pop up and you can choose literally off the site. Easy peasy.
Awesome. Thanks. And then the next question that we often see around, I mean, everybody knows when you're cutting with your mat loses stick after a while.
It just happens.
Yeah.
It's consumable. Get over it.
So number one, how do I restick my mat? And then number two, kind of factor into it, should I restick my mat?
That is the most important question. Yes, it is doable. You can buy repositionable glue. You can take all the sticky off your current mat, tape off the edges. If you're going to restick it, please tape off the edges, because remember your mat goes under a roller, and if you manage to get that sticky, you're going to regret it. So sticky off, tape on, spray, let it dry, spray, let it dry, spray, let it dry, right? Then once you've gone through that process, it doesn't last as long as a mat does. Every 2 months or so, you're gonna have to redo it over and over again. Replacement mats are not that expensive, and we even have generic ones. So please consider buying a new one. Get over it, get on with it.
Yeah, I know, honestly, that's what I do. I wash my mat a couple times, and once I know that it's done, I just...
Washing is good advice. You can wash it in sunlight liquid like you would do your dishes. In the sink, sunlight liquid. Don't rub too hard, because if you rub too hard, the sticky will come off. Just to get to, it almost feels like a paper mache is coming off the top. It's finger oils and little bits of paper that we've used over time.
And cat hair.
And you then rinse that off and hang it somewhere until it dries for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
Then it's nice and tacky again. But yeah.
Yeah, but
I would stop there.
Yeah, they all have a lifespan. They're going to need to be replaced at some point. And then the next question that I would imagine that you get quite often is, so I want to do a mug. Now, there's obviously 3 options that we have here. We can either use HTV,
yes,
sticker vinyl, or sublimation.
Yes.
Now, which one is the best and which one should I use?
First prize, sublimation, right? Sublimation is a permanent way of dyeing the surface of the mug, so that you can wash it and wash it and wash it and dishwash it, and it's not going to go anywhere, right? However, sublimation is a sublimation printer, either the 5,000 Rand route or the 12,000 Rand route, the mug press or convection oven, the 3,000 Rand, 5,000 Rand route. It's a business set up on its own, right? So put that into category number 1, We're between self-adhesive vinyl and HTV. Much of a muchness with regards to lifespan. Personally, I prefer sticker vinyl because putting HTV on a mug is a bit of a pain in the bum. You need this, you know, there's a process involved. So I would go with sticker. So you're going to give the mug to the person and say hand wash only, dishwash at own risk. Because the way you're going to take that vinyl off is by heating it. And your dishwasher is a very hot place. So try and get them to wash it in the sink normally, and your sticker should last a good few months.
Cool. And then I see this question in many groups all the time. I've had my machine for a long time and it's time for a service. Where can I send it for a service?
No, your machine does not get serviced.
Well, at least when it comes to Silhouette, the Silhouette machine.
Yeah. Let's speak about Silhouette specifically. You do not need to service your machine. There are no oil changes. There are no gears that need to be lubricated, right? There are 3 things that need to be changed on your Silhouette. Your blade, your mat, and your cutting strip. Cutting strip is something that has to be changed every 18 months. Definitely, all right? Or when you've made a boo-boo and cut through it.
And I'm sure we've all done that.
What is your cutting strip? If you don't know what it is, then it's probably time to change it. It's a piece of plastic that runs underneath your blade, right? And it's held down with double-sided tape. So take your fingernail and try and scratch it. If you feel that there's an actual groove in there, you have cut through it. Even if you don't make a mistake, even if you always use a mat, in time that piece of plastic separates. So it does need to be changed, and it's very easy to do, and it's cheap, 190 Rand for the strip or something. So that's number 1. And then your blade, if it's not cutting through, you can increase your force and have more blades stick out. Eventually your blade goes to heaven and you change it. And then your cutting mat, like we said before, that will become not sticky and you need to buy a new one. But that's it. Please do not service your machine unnecessarily. If you've done all 3 of those and it's not working, then you might have an issue, but otherwise no.
Cool. Thank you. On the topic of, you know, cutting your cutting strip and things like that. So very often people ask a question, should I use a mat or not? So obviously the cutting strip is a potential problem in we're using matless, but should I be cutting without a mat?
Personally, I like cutting without a mat when I'm doing a big job anyway. Let's say I need to do 40 stickers for car decals, and if I were to use my mat, we're talking about putting the mat in and out 10 times, right? Whereas they all fit on a lovely 30 centimeter wide by 2 meter piece of vinyl. I can simply put that vinyl in and click send, and the entire piece will cut one time. Again, this is Silhouette only. Cricut, you have to use a cutting mat unless you're using the Maker 3. So personally, I'm very fond of not using a mat. Some people really enjoy using their mat because they're a bit of a control freak.
Who, me?
But yeah, not necessary, and it's your machine's made. That's why you've got the cutting strip there. That is a built-in cutting mat. So I absolutely don't use it unless you have to, or unless you have to.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a control freak, so I really like using my mat. So the next question that I'm sure that you get asked all the time, because obviously you do sell pretty much all of the different types of blades that you get, is there are so many different blades that I have that have almost exactly the same function.
For the Silhouette Cameo.
For the Silhouette Cameo specifically. So as an example, you have the ratchet blade, you have the auto blade, you have the premium blade, you have the CB09 blade. They're all the same blades that do the same things, cut the same depth.
Correct.
Which one should I buy?
Right, but they're all 1mm blades, right? As opposed to the deep cut blades. All of them do the same thing. Ratchet and auto blade are in the same category with regards to lifespan. The only difference between the auto blade is that it bounces instead of you having to turn it. Okay, it's a lazy person's ratchet blade.
I love it.
Do not, however, love the Cameo 4 auto blade. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. I have found them to have, the odd one has an issue. So if you have a Cameo 4, I'm going to say no auto blade. If you have a Cameo 3, you can use it with love. So those two, same thing. Next up from that is premium blade. The premium blade is also made by Silhouette. It is manually adjusted like the ratchet is. Okay, so if you're having an auto blade, it means you're not being lazy. Each time you want to change the setting from a 1 to a 3, you have to take the blade out, twist it, and put it in. Not that difficult.
It is.
Not that difficult. It's a piece of cake, lazy people.
It's me.
The benefits of using the premium blade. That premium blade lasts, well, Silhouette brag that it lasts 3 times longer than the ratchet and the auto, and I dare say they are right. It is a lovely quality blade. You're looking at paying 100 Rand more for something that's going to last 3 times longer, right? So lovely. They have been out of stock for a while. South Africa's recently got them again. Happiness. So yeah, that to me, premium blade wins over ratchet and auto. Then you have the CB09 blade, right? Benefits of CB09, it has a small blade that fits inside a metal housing. So each time you need to change it, instead of buying a new blade at either 240 or 340, you're buying a little blade at 70 Rand. So super cost effective, right? The quality of the blade is premium quality, fabulous, really sharp for a long time. The negative side to the CB09 is it takes 5 minutes, that's all, to set it up. It doesn't come with numbers on it. The blades we've been talking are all 1mm blades, and they're broken down in a 1 to 10. This one doesn't come with numbers. So you have to watch a video.
I'll put a link up in there.
And then you print a template.
Oh, the link is there.
And then just take the short amount of time to set it up. It is totally worth it. It's the best blade that you can use in your Silhouette. So don't be lazy, please try it out, set it up. It's first prize to me.
Yeah, I mean, even I mean, you guys have seen now from the answers that I've been piping in every now and then, I'm lazy AF. And I'm not gonna lie, but setting up the CB09 was so much. I put it off for about a year. I bought it, I put it off for a year. Eventually I set it up and I was like, really?
Yeah, what's a big deal?
That was it?
Big deal.
Okay, cool. And it's amazing. It cuts like wafer thin. It's amazing. I love it.
I would buy, if you have a Silhouette, I would buy the CB09 blade housing now and buy 5 blades. They come in a pack of 5. You can buy them individually from us, but buy that pack of 5 and you'll be good for a very long time. You're sorted for ages. So definitely worth the investment.
Then I think this is probably one of the questions that I see multiple times a day is, I've made this thing, or I want to make this thing, I want to sell it, what should I charge?
What is your time worth to you?
Yeah.
Are you happy to make things for free? Because it only costs you 10 Rand for the little tin that you're doing, and the vinyl costs you 3 Rand. Are you happy to sell it for 13? Or did it take you an hour to do the design and put it together? Your time is money, and do not undervalue yourself, right? Very important. Kelly has a fabulous video on working out your costing, so please have a look there, and it's an Excel spreadsheet, and you can change the amount of time you spent and what your things cost you and work it out for you. You should be earning, okay, if you are relatively proficient in your software, okay, it's not like you're sitting an hour figuring out how to draw a circle, right? You know how your software works, you've had your machine for a while. A minimum of 200 Rand per hour. Minimum 250, 300, depending on how intricate the design work is. So yes, if a client is ordering 70 of something, the design work is done once, all right, and then that is averaged out over that 70. Sure, then it's a little bit of time for application and vinyl, a little bit of money for application and vinyl. But if it is a once-off unique creation, do not undervalue yourself. And if I may add, rather do one job at 300 Rand profit than do 10 jobs at 30 Rand profit.
Yeah, I think also on that, you know, when it comes to working out your hourly rate, you also need to think, like, especially if you're new to the craft, you know, you may want to charge 100 Rand an hour, because it's going to take you 3 times longer to do something, you know, so it's not going to be like you're charging 200 Rand an hour and you're going to charge 1 hour to do something that'll actually only take you 10 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
So that's kind of all factored into the price calculation sheet, which, like I said, I put a link up to the video there, and you can definitely check that one out. It's a very my most requested
most shared video.
Yeah. And then the last question, obviously we spoke about sublimation on mugs earlier. So I've just opened my business, I've just bought my machine, my Cameo, whatever, or whichever machine you've chosen. Should I buy a sublimation printer?
Okay. Well, there are different sublimation printers, the cheap way and the correct way. Very opinionated, sorry. Cheap way being the Epson, and the expensive / correct way being the Sawgrass. The only reason I am negative about the Epson is because of its limited lifespan and the fact that it's going to add to the junk pile. It is disposable. You get rid of it every 18 months or so. It has it doesn't last long, right? And the color profile is a challenge. So that's my hesitation with an Epson. I do have a Sawgrass, so I will admit favoritism, right? Sorry.
I've got one too, I get it.
So can you justify spending the money? What I suggest to people is, first, find someone near you who has the printer, right? And then outsource it to them. Offer the service and do it at somebody else's house. And then if business picks up and you can justify buying one, absolutely. But just be aware that there are a lot of people with the cutters that we have, the sublimation printers we have, the heat presses that we have. The market is saturated is the wrong word, but it is bustling.
Yeah, there's lots of people in the market.
Yeah.
But if you have the right product, the right pitch, the right audience, then you should be selling your product.
We just don't want you to think that you're going to spend money buying.
It's not easy money.
3.
Yeah.
Just because you've bought the printer doesn't mean the jobs are going to land on your lap. Just like everything, you need to put time and effort into it, and then absolutely you can make a roaring success of it.
If you do decide to go the Epson route and you are struggling with your color profiles, send me a message. I have the number of an amazing woman, Jessica, who does color profile correction. She offers that as a service, and she is
worth every penny.
She's a goddess. She's an absolute goddess. So we love her. So if you are struggling, if you did decide to go the Epson route, you are struggling with your color profiles, maybe you wanted to buy an Epson first so that you could build up your cash flow to be able to invest in a Sawgrass on your next printer once your Epson dies, then that's a good route to go as well. So that's another option that you can do. Epson first, struggle, set up, save up, buy the easy route. Cool. So thank you so much, Robyn, for answering all these questions. I know that everybody will really appreciate it. It was great to come here. And we're going to go chill on the couch for a little while.
Gonna have some vino.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to it.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
And we'll see you in the next video. And remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.